Welcome to Unews for Tuesday, July 9th. I'm Andrea Linares. Thanks so much for joining us. We begin today with growing criminal trouble for a billionaire who has powerful connections to people like President Trump and former President Bill Clinton. Prosecutors in Manhattan have unsealed new federal sex trafficking charges against Jeffrey Epstein. And we're learning new details of the disturbing discovery at his Manhattan mansion. Take a look. Jeffrey Epstein faces up to 45 years in prison if convicted of these charges. He's expected back in court on Thursday. And as this case continues to develop, reactions are pouring in from close associates, the president and even Bill Clinton, making it clear that they had no knowledge of Epstein's actions. This as the Secretary of Labor faces backlash after giving Epstein a softer sentence back in 2008 when he was a prosecutor in the state of Florida. Lorraine Cáceres has much more.
Chairman Schultz and also victim advocacy groups are joining in on these calls asking for the secretary's resignation. Meanwhile, White House Counselor Kellyanne Conway defended him this morning, saying he's done a great job with the economy, lowering unemployment rates, and we should all be focusing on Epstein instead. That's all from Washington, D.C. I'm Lorraine Cáceres. I'll toss it back to you at the studio.
Lorraine, thanks so much for that report. And as congressional lawmakers continue their efforts to investigate President Trump, the Justice Department is continuing its fight on behalf of the White House. On Monday, the department challenged ongoing battle over a citizenship question on the 2020 U.S. Census. Last week, that battle was thought to be over, but the White House is vowing to continue its fight. Aranza Loizaga explains. Democrats are challenging the Trump administration's achievements in environmental leadership. This after the president defended himself on what critics say are industry-friendly rollbacks of environmental protections. Here's Rafael Rodriguez with the story. The state of Georgia is accused of discriminating against Puerto Ricans trying to get driver's licenses. A new lawsuit filed by a Latino civil rights group alleges that Puerto Ricans are subjected to additional quizzes and their applications are purposely, quote, flagged for fraud review. Here to discuss this lawsuit is Jorge Vasquez from the organization Latino Justice. Jorge, thanks so much. And coming up next on Unews, as she's now to the race for 2020, Elizabeth Warren's presidential campaign announced that it raised $19.1 million in the second quarter of the year. Warren's fundraising. The United Nations human rights chief is weighing in on the conditions of migrant detention centers in the U.S., saying she's shocked and appalled. Fabiola Galindo has much more.
Commissioner Bachelet also said that the deprivation of liberty from both adults and children should only be a measure taken as a last resort. In New York, Fabiola Galindo, Unews.
Fabiola, thank you. McAllen, Texas has been in the national spotlight because of the high number of Central American immigrants crossing into that border city. Now, local officials are seeking federal migrant relief funds for the money they have spent since 2014. Nidia Cavazos has the story.
And from Vicente Gonzalez, the Texas congressman adds that while the Senate humanitarian does provide critical relief, it's only temporary and a comprehensive and bipartisan solution is still needed. Back to you, Andrea.
Maybe, and that's the million-dollar question, how to go about and face this crisis to ultimately find a solution to the whole problem and make Republicans and Democrats happy.
Definitely, it's in the workings.
Thanks so much, Nidia. And as the Trump administration's threatened ICE raids hang over the heads of many undocumented immigrants, one organization is taking steps to prepare. Dulce Castellanos has the latest.
Comment on how they conduct raids, but massive arrests would be logistically impossible with the actual resources the agency has. Dulce Castellanos, Unews.
Still ahead, a couple's heartbreaking There are new developments involving the sudden death of Disney star Cameron Boyce. The Los Angeles County coroner has now completed the autopsy for the 20-year-old actor, and today we're hearing from his family. Maite Imperiano has the latest on this.
Tributes are pouring in for Cameron Boyce. He was best known for his lead role in the Descendants franchise, but other projects he was set to appear include HBO's Mr. Fletcher, Paradise City, and also an indie film titled Runt. For now, funeral plans for the late actor have not yet been announced, but we will be looking out for any of this news developing. Andrea, back to you.
Maite, such a sad story. It's still hard to believe. Thanks so much. And now to New York, where a fertility clinic is under fire. A couple accusing that clinic of some kind of IVF mix-up, and the twins they thought were theirs were not related to them or each other. Michelle Jurado has those details. In other news, an 8-month-old girl was killed and 5 other children hurt in a Tennessee apartment fire. Police in Antioch. And coming up next, the crisis in Venezuela. Migrants crowded into the back of a tractor-trailer on Sunday in Zacatecas State. According to the Venezuelan economic crisis is already leaving its mark. One of them, the increase in the number of suicides. As Jose Garcia explains, according to some studies, suicides in the beleaguered country have grown 5-fold to almost 1,000 cases in the last year alone. And after this quick break, we'll tell you why a major airline, Deutsche Bank, will cut 18,000 jobs and dramatically shrink its investment arm. Time now to check in with Aranza Luisaga. She's got a preview of what's coming up next during the second hour of Unews. Aranza, take it away.
Thank you, Andrea. Well, we have a lot more information coming up shortly. Another American citizen who has died in the Dominican Republic. That's the information. But this woman wasn't there, just for a beach vacation. Instead, she traveled to the DR for cosmetic surgery that then turned fatal. We also have more information, an update on the trial of Kevin Spacey. The disgraced star charged with sexual assault now can face something different because prosecutors are saying that the case could be in jeopardy, and we'll explain you why. And also, measles outbreak. It is continuing and growing. We have to tell you how many people have been now diagnosed nationwide, and also what else needs to be done to be able to prevent this spread. So just stick around for more information in the second hour. Andrea, back to you.
Aranza, some vital information there. Of course, I'll be tuning in. Thanks so much for that info. Up next, what an anniversary. A Texas couple who eats at Whataburger every day got a big surprise from the restaurant to help them celebrate their 62nd anniversary. Marity Morangi has their story. So many more years together. And here's another story that will make you just go, aw. Take a look at this. It's video of one wobbly animal to several. This video from a Washington state 60,000 times, and I'm sure that number is only going to continue going up. Thanks so much for watching.